WatchGP Podcast. It's just me today. Bob is not with us, so we got our favorite WatchGP wingman, Joseph.
Hi guys, I'm happy to hear Noor. It's always a pleasure to do it with you.
Honestly, it's so much fun. So we're going to be discussing the land of two seas, El Bahrain. So first off, before anything, Joseph, what was your favorite on or off track moment of the weekend?
So I'm going to talk about off track and the way McLaren celebrated, especially that it's their home race. It was as if they're back to their glory days. And also when I saw the radio of Oli Behrman's dad, that was very cute. Come on, like we know that it's a tough sport, but that was like, he reminded me of Hamilton's dad.
His dad is very sweet, honestly. It's very cute. Like even in Jeddah last year, do you remember his dad being there and the big hug? And it's just so nice to see so many like parents that are so supportive and showing up for them.
What about you? What was your favorite on-track moment?
On track. Okay, I'm gonna say a few.
Okay, go ahead.
Kimi overtaking Max. That says a lot.
Yeah, that's
as you guys can see. That was fantastic. And like, can you imagine Kimi going to school the next day and telling them, sorry, I forgot to do my homework. I was like overtaking Max Verstappen. But that's one of them. Two, Alonso's steering wheel coming off. That was fantastic. I think that was pure comedy because his reaction was just Alonso.
It's like, F it, I'll do it myself.
But he is, at this point, I'll do it myself. He's an independent woman. That is it.
Yeah, it's true.
I think those are two of my favorites. I loved Piastri's win, obviously. And it's going to show you Piastri's, you're seeing his growth so much, and I absolutely love it.
In such a short time also, like I feel, in my opinion, Piastri has ice in his veins.
Oh, yeah.
He's very cold. If they can monitor his heart rates, I think they're very calm. Yeah, they're very low compared to others.
Yeah, it's probably like he's not even racing. He's just going out for a walk.
It's an FP1 session.
Yeah.
I'm just leading the race, I'm just leading the race.
He was like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Is this how Max feels like?
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I feel like it was a great race. I think this definitely so far is my favorite race of the season because there was action.
Exactly.
Japan,
there were so many overtakes.
Japan was pretty sleepy.
Yeah, Japan was like a disappointment, I think.
Japan reminded me of Monaco.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone said, like all the drivers. But we expected rain. Rain didn't come. There's no overtaking.
We got it in Australia instead.
Yeah, but that was good. It was a good start for the season.
Yeah, honestly, it's been, so far I feel like it's been a very dynamic start to the season.
Exactly, and unpredictable.
It really has been, and it's nice to see McLaren, leading, and for once you're seeing both drivers are showing their potential.
Exactly.
But let's talk race.
Okay.
How did you feel?
Oh, honestly, my biggest I was someone who exceeded my expectations was George Russell, because everyone's sleeping on him. They don't see the consistency. He took a tire that was supposed to last only 10 laps, 22.
That's a little audacious, isn't it? Remember what he said? He said, I think that's a little audacious.
Yeah. But he was holding off Lando. Mm-hmm. He had no DRS. He had no dash. He had so many electrical problems. At one point in the race, we saw him P20, even though that was not correct. I think he is gonna compete for the championship if he stays with that consistency.
Wow, that's a big statement, though.
It is.
That is a big statement. I think George really, a lot of people do, as you say, sleep on him, but George is like, he talks a big game and then he underperforms, and when he finally stays silent, he starts to perform. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
كأنه يصيب حاله عين. But the thing about George, I think he did a great job in Bahrain. He does have good tire management.
Yeah, I think
he learned from Lewis. Tire management is not an easy thing, and not everyone's able to do it. George has shown us this before.
Yeah.
I can't remember what race it was in Spa when he really stretched the life of Lewis.
Exactly. No one did that strategy. He was the only one on that strategy, by the way.
He has a talent. I just think sometimes his personality gets in the way.
Yeah. I think not everyone likes him, but if we're talking racing terms,
you have to respect him.
He's a leader. He's leading Mercedes.
He stepped up a lot,
Yeah.
by the way. He has stepped up a lot from like 2 years ago.
Exactly.
And we've seen, I think because we've all seen them start and to where they are now, it's very hard. It's like your child growing up, and it's very hard to accept that they're adults now. So you're going to nitpick at everything they do. But at the end of the day, he has grown a lot. Like if anyone were to see George now and start to get into the sport now, they're seeing a completely different George than the one we grew up watching.
Exactly.
You
like
know?
George from the Williams.
Oh my God. George with the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
But Yani, I think, I definitely agree. He did do a great job. I was obviously pleasantly surprised by Piastri. Not even, at this point, I'm not even surprised. I think Piastri has so much potential, and I really hope McLaren doesn't ruin it. Because obviously, we all know Lando is technically their number one, as much as they don't want to say, oh, we have a number one, number two. Lando's technically the number one. He's the older driver. He's the more experienced one. But I feel that Piastri is kind of showing them that favoritism can't be here, because I'm going to perform just as strong, if not stronger. And, you know, there is talk about how Andrea Stella favors Piastri over Norris, and how Zach Brown obviously favors Norris. And listen, each parent has a favorite child.
Exactly. Yani, unconsciously, you will
it's
have
someone
that.
you naturally gravitate towards. Maybe they have likings, maybe they have whatever. They just naturally gravitate towards. And maybe it started off as, you know, this guy has the whole team behind him, so let me stand by the second driver, this rookie.
The rookie.
That, let's be real, in his first year as a rookie, took a podium.
And now he's winning. He won 2 races.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, me too. That's why I told you.
Like 2-1. 2-1. He has 2 races over 1 for Lando. That's huge.
Both from pole.
I know.
So...
He performs phenomenally. Yeah. I was also very impressed, obviously. I'm consistently impressed with the rookies, I have to say. I'm sad for Bortoleto if he had a better car. Him and Hülkenberg.
Yeah, because
you know my love for
we know,
Hülkenberg.
like, all teams, they got upgrades and they kind of work compared to last year, except Sauber.
حرام Sauber. And at this point, خلاص تعالوا دشوا Audi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Audi تفضلوا. Please.
Like, just take the team.
Just take the team. Just work some magic. Throw some early investment money, something. Like we even saw Haas perform. And I think Haas started performing from last season. They started to really perform better. I feel like Nico Hülkenberg's looking at the Haas like, now you perform.
Yeah, exactly. Like, now when I left. Like Oli Behrman got P10.
Yeah.
So.
Yuki got points.
Yeah.
Although...
He got lucky with the safety car.
Yes. Listen, at the end of the day, yes, I was very upset that, like, you know, the damage to Carlos Sainz's car obviously was very unfortunate. Happy he got into the points, and it's happy he got into the points in a team like Red Bull where everything is very cutthroat. He started to prove himself. He can. Yuki, out of the last 2 people they had, Yuki's been performing stronger than all of them.
Yeah, I think he also has the pressure to, you know, like, to keep his seat. So he had to, you know, like, they had the racing incident at the end of the day.
Rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, like, khalas, he had to go all in.
Yeah, definitely.
Unlucky for Sainz. What to do?
I feel like Sainz is just having a very unlucky year.
Yeah, I know. Him and Hamilton.
You know what? That's what happens when you take something that's not you took from someone else or عينه فيها.
صح. But Hamilton overtook him.
Yes, Hamilton overtook. He tried to fight back. By the way.
He did.
It was like
nice.
I liked that fight because even like the commentators were like, "This is personal."
yeah. Like, this is not just racing.
This is for the spot and the seat and the everything.
Let me see if you deserve it. So I'm gonna fight you for this.
And look, at the end of the day, I'm sad to see Lewis is not performing as well. Again, he's not badly performing, but we're used to Lewis being, you know, on top, and it is sad. And even he said it when they asked, "Are you gonna make magic?" And he's like, "Don't expect magic."
Yeah.
He's being realistic. I think he has set expectations for 2026.
Could be.
Or he's now just like pulling in Alonso and he's here to enjoy racing.
Exactly. لا بس أنا I think personally يعني he's not, like you said, underperforming, but he's still performing as if he was in Mercedes. So there's nothing new. They built so much aura around it, you know, like everyone. Oh my God.
The overhype.
Yeah, like the overhype, you know, like this is it's not gonna get us points.
That's true. But it is business. It's branding. It's marketing. At the end of the day, when you sell something so hard, like, oh, we're bringing in Lewis. no matter what he does, everyone's going to cheer him on because of the hype that you built around it.
But you need to deliver the hype.
Yes, but again, a lot of listen, Ferrari fans are loyal fans. They're so loyal they have to go to therapy.
Exactly, like they've been
so
supporting
really,
Ferrari for 17
Lewis
years.
is still like, they're still in that land of Ferrari is gonna come back, and I don't deny it. Listen, every team has its cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
And eventually, Ferrari is gonna be on top again. But I hope Lewis is around for it because he's such a legend, and for him to go in a very like anticlimactic way is sad.
But we've seen what happened to legends at Ferrari.
He was told not to do it. He made the decision. Khalas.
Let's not open this.
The can of worms that's gonna hurt your heart. I was sad also for Carlos Sainz, honestly, his DNF. I feel Alonso and Stroll are just chilling, going.
Yeah.
Adrian Newey's like, wait till next year.
It's like chill this year.
Just go, minimize damage.
Yeah, and get some points. Save up money.
Yeah.
Okay, don't crash the car.
Don't crash the car. We need the money.
And let it be.
Let it be, exactly. Isaac Hadjar, I feel. Can I be honest? You know how much I love him.
Yeah, but this is favoritism. Tell me.
It is favorite. Every parent has their favorite kid.
Okay.
He's my favorite kid. Him and
Go
Max.
ahead.
Max is not a kid anymore. He's gonna have a child, and I still call him a kid. But I feel like he performs in quali, and then I feel Racing Bulls has the same issue as Ferrari. They're strategists.
But also, I feel like the car is fast, but racing pace.
Yes,
they don't have.
It's fast in qualies, but like
like
race
for one
pace
lap.
is
Yeah.
Race pace is not great. But again, he almost did pretty well in Japan if they didn't like mess him up with the strategy. Really messed him up. I feel like if they got Carlos Sainz as a strategist in Racing Bulls, we'd be good.
That's how Williams got points.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, Carlos Sainz, if he were to quit racing tomorrow, every team would want him as a strategist.
Exactly, because he was also.
He would be a great team principal, in my opinion. In my opinion, he genuinely would be, because he's very wise in certain things. I think he took that from his dad, probably.
Maybe.
I could give like a TED talk on the Sainz family, because mashallah, this is their bread and butter. Did you have any disappointments
Besides
Lewis?
It's Ferrari. I mean, I'm not very disappointed. They just got really this time. I won't blame them. They got unlucky. They had fast pit stops. They did everything right. They had a good strategy before the safety car. They got unlucky. Like the medium stint, Lewis was overtaking everyone.
And then they got put on the hards.
Yeah, they know. I see. You have Drive to Survive fans, and you have fans who actually.
Yes, but there's a lot of fans who are not Drive to Survive fans who still confused. Actually, you know what? We should make that a post on Instagram.
They should research.
I'm gonna make this a post on Instagram. I actually have one that explains the tire compounds and whatnot, but I'll do kind of like an in-depth one, because I think everyone sometimes gets confused on tire compounds and whatnot. I get confused sometimes. Even Abdulrazak, car review last time, and this is car review, he even said it. He said, sometimes I get confused. It happens.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to do like a post to just like...
Especially, when it's like, for example, before I watch a race, I see how many tires I have left for the race and what's the lifespan of the tire. Because, they can take tires from quali and use them. You know, like they start on the race with 5 laps stint, فهذا هذا البروبلم اللي واجهوه فيراري بكل صراحة. They didn't have soft to use, and they didn't know that a soft could go for 22 laps. I mean, like people complain that why did they put the hard? They know that the hard isn't performing. Like Max is testing this tire and it's not working. They know, but they don't have. Like not everyone can do a tire whispering magic like Russell.
Yes. There's always one tire whisperer.
So that was my disappointment, Sarah, because they did something right for once.
For once, like
Ferrari is Ferrari.
It's okay. It happens.
Always
but
yours.
My disappointment: Red Bull's pit stops.
Yeah, that was bad.
How?
But I didn't check. Was it the issue from the Bahrain circuit, or was it specifically to Red Bulls?
It was Red Bull. It was Yuki and Max twice, by the way.
No, the second time wasn't the light.
The second time
was the pit.
Was the
tire.
Their pit stops, that was Sauber level mess up.
Yeah, like that was bad.
That was like Valtteri Bottas, Sauber, Zhou Guanyu, Sauber, Jeddah last year.
I mean, like, it was bad with Max. When Yuki comes in, just look at it. Make sure it's working.
I don't know how they didn't like that. For me, really broke my heart. And you saw both of them got so upset about it. Of course. Yani, what do you mean it's not working?
بس هلا يعني خلينا نشيل your favoritism على جنب. حتى لو ضوت مش أخضر ضوت كله rainbow, he wasn't gonna get better than P6.
I'm not gonna say that, but I'm saying it was obviously a disappointment because he was, it messes up the focus.
And I feel the first pit messed up the pit crew. That's why maybe على the second or third خلاص
of course they're anxious. Also, again, this is Red Bull. Like عادي, one of them probably got fired on the spot. You know what I mean?
I'm sure هذا يمكن عم يكبس الكبسة. هذا طيروه. هذا الاي تي مانجر قاعد بالبيت هلا.
ما في. He's not there anymore. You know, they're hunting for a new guy to press the button.
training center. Press, finish, stop, start. Heck, but this is your homework.
But any other major disappointments? I'm trying to think. I feel like overall it was a pretty good race.
It was fun. Everyone had a decent chance.
Do you feel like this is an indication of what's going to come this year?
هلا from what we saw in the past 4 races, في شيء ما حدا انتبه له انه كل pole position
is getting. But that's not always as accurate.
لا عمول هلا بالفور.
So far.
So لقدام ما بنعرف شو بيصير اذا بتضلها هيك ما بعتقد. بس اللي شفناه اللي هو كتير واضح انه ما ربحوا ماكلارن هديك السنه بالحظ. يعني people قبل قالوا اوكي يمكن they got lucky the second half. هلا teams are gonna.
It's not getting lucky. You can't say a team gets lucky in the second half
بس
when they.
انه سيارتهم انه ريد بول اللي تراجعوا. اوكي ماكلارن كانوا سريعين بس مش هالقد. بس هلا شفنا بهيدا السيركويت.
Their car is a rocket ship.
انه طيران للصراحه. وجدة will show it even more.
Oh God. I'm so excited. I'm going to be at Jeddah. I'm going to see. But do you have a hero of the race?
أنا تيمي أوسكار. مش لأنه ربح. لأنه I like this mentality. He
you
wasn't
have a
arrogant.
zero of the race.
ما مش كده. I don't have zero. I would say Max, but it's not fair. He's just a human.
It's just because you don't like him.
No, I do like him now. It took 4 years, but.
Took 4 championships.
ما ذنبه. Lost in past zero. He's gonna stay zero for me. He didn't perform. He didn't do anything.
I think he lost his confidence. Well, obviously very normal to lose your confidence.
But it's the second race. خلاص, like, get your head together.
Like Hajar is outperforming Lawson. Like we all thought, if Lawson goes back to the Racing Bulls because the Racing Bulls is flying compared to the Red Bull, he's gonna outperform what's gonna happen. But then you see he's not performing. And Yuki, who was in that car, was performing. So now you start to question, is Lawson losing his confidence?
I think he is.
I think he is, and I think it's really rough. Of course, it's going to be really rough on him, by the way. To be demoted in front of everyone on your second, as much as I say, well, if I like him or I don't like him, take that out. This is a very cutthroat sport, and he's probably going through that self-doubt that Daniel Ricciardo went through, that everyone went through, honestly.
He's still young, فيمكن مثلا هاملتون هلا عم بيشوف كتير كريتيك سويك بس
they're used to it.
خلص.
I think it might be a bit of both the media critique because you came in and tried to like show your muscles.
هلا ذكرت شيء كتير مهم.
What?
شخص كتير بنحبه. هل هو دكتور هلمت ماركو. شفتي شو صار؟
Because
you asked me about off track.
I forgot. How did we forget about that? Can we just? Does anybody know what was actually said?
I think هو a reporter هو وقاطع شاف بس we don't know exactly what happened but it's about the clause in Max's contract that if he drops below third in the championship
then he can leave freely and not have an issue.
But what do you think he would leave?
I don't think he'd leave mid-season.
No. It's not mid-season. It's end of the year. It has to finish the season because he can be هلا fourth. He's not gonna leave next race.
Yeah. I think would he leave if there is a good enough team? I think he would.
But he doesn't know. 2026 is unknown to everyone.
Exactly. So is he gonna take a chance?
Adrian Newey.
Look, we all know Aston Martin made it very clear that they wanted it. So did Mercedes. So did every team on the grid would take Max Verstappen. Is there a team that wouldn't? Only teams that wouldn't, it's because they can't afford him.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel with what I saw, off media is not the same as on media. But what I saw that maybe Russell is getting his 2+1 contract. And I don't think they're gonna throw away Kimi. put him as a reserve driver while he's performing wouldn't be nice to his career. And just to add Max,
But there hasn't been a confirmation on Russell's
They're
contract.
talking about it. The paddock fee talks.
Talking about it as something.
But we all know that all the paddock talks eventually happen.
Not always, because you remember last year's paddock talks were that Max was moving to Mercedes.
No.
there is. This is, at the end of the day, they might be covering themselves. But from what I know, Russell is only there till the end of this year. They haven't given him a multi-year contract.
Yeah, it's true.
And maybe it's for both sakes. Maybe it's...
But where would he go?
You don't know. Maybe another team decides to poach him. You don't know what because keep in mind, there's an 11th team coming that we don't know what their lineup is.
And I've heard talks about Bottas, but I'm not sure.
For Cadillac, there's been a lot of talk. Like Checo made it known that he's been in talks with F1. I've heard Daniel Ricciardo's name quite a bit, but I think from what I understand from Daniel's little snippets, because I don't know if he's releasing a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But from what I understand, he says he doesn't want to be in F1 anymore. He's done.
And I think, in my opinion, because especially as you see it in our careers, right, the world is moving too fast. خلاص, whoever retire, even if they come back, they won't be as fast as the rookies, because the rookies عندهم a whole different driving styles. Everything changed.
I think
you don't have time to lose points anymore.
Yes, but not just. I think it's also the rookies don't have the fear that you get when you get older.
Exactly, and he said it.
Yes, a lot of drivers talk about it. When you get older, as a human being, when you get older, you naturally start to fear things. It's literally the human mind and the human body. So as you get older, you start to think, oh, if I do this, what's
the consequence?
There's that hesitation that the rookies are like, let's just go.
Okay, crashing.
Crash. And what's going to happen next? I'm young, I broke a bone, it's fine.
Okay.
But then you see when Daniel Ricciardo broke his hand, compare it to when Lance Stroll broke both his hands. Because he was a lot younger, he was like, let's go,
Yeah, and he even raced and he was still fully healed.
But then you see Daniel Ricciardo, whose hand broke, but with age, there's just, everything slows down. So you start to just be like, huh? I watched an interview the other day with, David Coulthard. And he was talking about how he got in the Red Bull. Did you see this one?
Yeah.
And he raced and he put in a lap time, and Max put in a lap time, and he's 5 seconds off Max. He's like, but even as I'm older, I don't have the stamina. My body doesn't have the stamina to do it. My organs are literally moving with the G-force. So really, there's so much. I tell people, everyone who says, there's a lot of people who say, F1 is not a sport. And I'm like, do what they do.
Yeah.
Do what they do. Drive at the G-force that they do. Drive at the speeds that they do. Do all the intense workouts and the intense everything that they do.
أنا بدي أقول لهم شيء. أنا بدي أقول لهم let's go كلنا على بحرين circuit.
And see if you can put
تبع الكارتينج. I don't want you to go for 10 minutes. I want you to do a full 1 hour, non-stop. If you can handle 20 minutes, if you can handle it, but then come tell me it's not a sport. It's a very physical sport. It's a very mental one. You have to make decisions in split seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Every corner.
Yeah, I agree. So I have a question. The 2025 season. Are you feeling like the grid is getting tighter? Because the points are getting very tight. And do you think this is going to be the year that things change? Even in we're used to seeing the certain teams in a certain place and certain drivers in certain places. Do you think this is going to be a shake-up?
shake-up هلأ لا بكل صراحة. بس unpredictability yes بالorder. لأنه أول شيء عندك rookies كلهم they're performing all of them at random races. وبعدنا برابع ريس هلأ فايتين على الخامس. عندك الميدفيلد عم بيتشقلب كل شوي ما بنعرف مين هيدا. حتى فيك تقولي ما عادش في كأنه ميدفيلد على شوي رح يقربوا على الهيدا.
Yes.
وعندك التوب 4 okay so far it's showing انه هلا so far we can say انه it's McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. But we don't know من هون لا after summer what could happen.
True, very true. What about, so how did you feel about we discussed this earlier, the penalties and the fact that the penalties are given very let's say عشوائية. we don't really have a set penalties for set things. Because when the Lando Norris grid, when he started ahead of his grid box, you automatically said that's a 20-second penalty.
صح, at least 10.
At least 10. But what we saw was different. But we're used to seeing it as 10.
صح.
Because I remember last year and I remember the year before. And by the way, I still remember it being once it was George and once it was Lando.
Also مرة, I think, Nico Hülkenberg.
Yes, it was Nico. And each one of them
got 10 seconds minimum.
10 seconds minimum. And so for this year to go 5, like, and then one driver causing a collision gets 10 seconds, but one driver gets 5 seconds for hitting another driver. There is no basis. How do you feel about this?
Coming from 2021, I know there's a book with rules موجودين.
You will never miss a chance to remind me of 2021. Never, ever, ever, ever.
منزلين من السما rules, بس people want to change them depending on the political situation happening. You know, if it's for the favoring this team, يلا we'll give it them less penalties. Or مثلا safety car كان إلها عازة.
لا, I feel like they just wanted to show off the Aston Martin.
It was الدبري كان على racing line ما بيستعملوه. هيدا one. Eventually مع السرعة تبعهم, in my opinion, إنهم يقطعوا من حد الهواء كان كبه برا.
But I think maybe again you never want to take that chance.
طب virtual safety car, does it really need هيدا?
They wanted to show off the new Aston Martin.
They wanted McLaren to win.
خلاص. We know this.
نحن هون podcast unfiltered. We say
yes,
things.
we know this, but we know this, so we also don't want to make enemies.
لا, أنا
no, I'm just
my
kidding.
hero today,
I am happy to discuss any team, and I feel like, you know, as fans, you have to be able to speak freely, whether it upsets some people or not. But the safety car, yes, I agree with you. ما كان لها داعي أبدا. Okay, yes, virtual safety car could have been a better option. What was I gonna say? The rule books. Yes, I feel like there's constant changing, and I agree to a certain thing that yes, it changes per political situation, which is not right at all. It should be this. These are the penalties for these actions, but obviously the penalties depending on the severity of the action.
Sometimes بيكون في gray area. ما عم نقول لا.
Yes.
في قصص بتكون
so like light touch, 5 seconds. Big touch that caused a driver to retire, 20 seconds. Whatever. Like you have set so that people don't play around and say, well, oh no, yes, no, yes.
And I think the issue is إنه بيضلوا يغيروا stewards ومنهم fixed. هلا they tried it before. Again, I don't mean to mention it, بس إنه قبل كان في واحد بيقرر some of the years before. وفوتنا بالحيط. جربوا هلا يعملوا إنه mixing up, بس still not working. خلاص you need مثلا 2-3 people committee. اوكي يقروا هالورقه الكتير بسيطه مثل بالمدرسه. اذا بتغش نفصلك عن المدرسه. اذا بتعمل هيك خلص you know. اكيد في مثلا راحوا حطوا له ساينز 5 second penalty لانه شو قفل انثم لما كان عنده مشكله بمعدته وكان مع الدكتور, انه مش انه مثلا هو عم بيتغنج. طب ما why يعني why ruin someone race?
Yeah,
I know it's important.
No, it was a 50,000
مع penalty.
Oh, there was a penalty as well?
5 seconds.
That's ridiculous.
And for what? He missed it, sorry.
Can I tell you something? This is going to be a little bad. We all know this is McLaren's second home. Do you think it was biased to McLaren to make sure that anyone that could be a threat will be taken care of?
Yeah. صراحة especially إنه they wanted يعني شو كان بدهم بهالسيفتي كار يرجع نورس second ويخلصوها 1-2.
Of course.
They tried because you saw the restart. It was very intense. It was intense صراحة.
It was an intense.
For a second I thought Ferraris were gonna go after Piastri. بس ما.
So this is where I'm like, okay, I'm happy to have بالعكس, I think it's actually good that you have different stewards in different races, because then you don't have an issue where one steward has an issue with a specific driver and they're consistently following them, because this happens.
صح, it happens. خلاص في حدا بديك راسه.
But I feel like the stewards need to be from unbiased, similar to the refs in football.
Okay.
You don't have a ref that has anything to do with the people there.
100%.
That includes when the home race is the owner of a team.
Exactly.
I'm not saying they purposefully did it. It might be subconscious, sorry. I probably would subconsciously, if this was my country and my country owns this team, I subconsciously would be trying to make sure that from my side, I'm going to see that if they would, like I would want to see them with. It's human nature. No one is completely unbiased.
Hamilton's race by British Grand Prix when he won it. I was praying the whole time that a safety car can happen for 10 laps while he's P1. It's normal, يعني you want that. If I was a steward, I would see anything. يمكن شفت كلينكس على الأرض أو safety car. Safety car 10 laps.
Someone coughed in the thing. Safety car.
في danger. عرفتي إنه بتصير صح. What you're saying is absolutely correct.
Who do you feel is going to be your wild card podium by mid-season?
Oli Bearman.
Really?
Yes.
Podium? In a Haas?
راح يصير شيء unpredictable.
Guys, does anybody know? Can we research when was the last time a Haas had a podium?
هلا تشوف. I think they got one.
I'm actually gonna check that out real quick.
Don't forget they have a good duo. يعني Ocon هيدا something can happen. Okay, تما Gasly once got a podium.
Gasly and Ocon got a podium.
بتصير يعني ممكن يصير شيء. بس أنا صراحة لإلي بيرمان أنت.
Ooh. In February 2024, Gene Haas explained that here we are in our 8th year, over 160 races, and we've never had a podium.
This year is different, and I'm telling you. أنت who do you think?
The
Who's your wild
highest
card?
finish they ever had was 4th and 5th.
طيب one position. يضحك ماكس قدام وانا فوت بالحياة.
ليش ماكس؟ ليش دايما ماكس؟
ما هلا ماكس بي4 مين بده يكون غيره بي4؟
Why are you always like you have an issue with
ما
Max?
انت هلا نحن مش قلنا هو بي4 يعني بيكون بيرمان بي5 تيوصل بده ما بيقدر يقطع عن ماكس.
Okay, so P3 couldn't
بيجيبه بيرجع.
P2 couldn't يسحب.
ما إذا زحت P3 ماكس رح يروح على P1.
Okay.
هو نيد ماكس
عادي.
تخيل ريتاير هي تطفي لحالها.
يا الله. Guys, I want you to see all the bias in this man.
I didn't say I want Hamilton to win. I said Bearman. Okay.
But it's always Max. You couldn't say Piastri. You couldn't say Norris.
لا I like Piastri. لا Piastri حبيبي. I cannot.
See, it comes down to who you like. You biased. Anyways, so my wild card prediction, I would say.
Please don't say Hadjar.
No.
Okay.
Antonelli.
Okay.
He's performing. He is performing.
أنا ما قلت wild card لأنه صراحة I see it. يعني it's not like it's not
What,
gonna be.
Lewis?
لا كيمي.
Oh. I say wild card because again, he is still young.
بس before جاب.
Yeah, okay, but again, we've seen people get to P4 and never get to the podium. Nico Hülkenberg.
Fair, صح.
So that's my wild card. But we have something coming up now this weekend, which I'm going to be at, by the way, which is the Jeddah Grand Prix. How do we feel about Jeddah? How do you feel about the circuit?
أول شيء أنا personally like the circuit. It's very unpredictable. يعني any safety car can happen. or safety car usually بالجدة منا safety car إنه يلا شوي debris. It's a red flag.
Oh yeah.
So it changes the whole thing. يعني عندك free pit stops, packing هيدا again كلهم مع بعض. Fast track.
It is a very fast
Sector
track.
1 you cannot blink. Yeah, you remember Max? يعني Max was kissing the wall بكل lap كرمالي to outperform Max. Lewis. He was gonna do like the fastest lap time.
It's a fun circuit, honestly. I like it. I'm excited. I'm gonna be going with Red Bull, Red Bull Mobile. So what's cool is I'm gonna be able to do a garage tour. Hopefully, guys, please pray that I get to meet Max.
قالوا له ماكس خيل صغير بحبك كثير والله صوري له معه كرمالي أو فيديو هيك.
Thank you so much. And I'm just gonna tell him, can you tell Joseph who won in 2021? But I'm excited, honestly. I'd like Jeddah. I did Jeddah last year with Gadia, and that was a lot of fun. That was actually my first experience. My first paddock experience was Jeddah last year, and I like their paddock. It's fun.
I think they won like the best paddock of the year.
So they have a very interesting paddock. the way that it's set up is very cool. I like it a lot. It's taken a little bit from everyone's paddock.
Yeah, it's like شوي futuristic صح? It's like
a little bit, but it mixes tradition in it a lot. So you do see palm trees. You see a lot of like Arabic, Saudi. And I love that they make every garage, the driver's names, they do it in Arabic calligraphy.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's so amazing. Nice. I love that they're the only country so far that I've seen in the Khalij. Take a page and go, we're happy to host you here, but we're going to incorporate عاداتنا وتقاليدنا.
Yeah.
All throughout Jeddah last year, you see all the drivers with their photos, but their names بالعربي and in calligraphy. And it was just so pretty. They were handing out dates to the drivers. I don't know if you saw. Again, these are little things that just incorporate the culture so beautifully. And it was nice to see like Saudi culture, Arabic culture, Khaliji culture mixed in with a world we love so much, but it was just done very well. I feel like the rest, I love all the races in the Khalij. You know this, I've done 3 out of 4 of them. Qatar, you see, you know, the Arabic culture, but in general, it's not like they'll invite you if you want to hayakum to like experience our culture, but they won't like put it in your face. Yes. They don't want to make it too over the top. I haven't been to Bahrain. Abu Dhabi is very it's become very like I don't want to say Western.
Count it like as an Arab
I don't want to say
race.
Western. It does still have a lot of Arabia in it, but it's because it's become such an iconic race, it's had to shway westernize.
Exactly.
As opposed to Saudi, that's like
this is it.
It's just I love it. I think culture, it's my favorite one. And their paddock's really nice. Their garage area is very nice. Their food is fantastic. Just out of just letting you guys know. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. I would say you really should check it out. It's also very expensive, by the way. It's one of the most expensive paddock experiences to go to.
Wallah, inshallah one day Red Bull will take us with you.
Inshallah, WatchGP gets invited, like us.
Let's go.
Then make it.
If they take me, I'm wearing Red Bull with Max on my back, next to my heart.
I'll give you my shirt.
Next to my heart.
Yeah.
A cap, and I'll be supporting Max.
Did you hear that, Red Bull? Did you hear that? Do it, please.
Red Bull
Mobile.
And I'm willing to do that.
Do it just so I can see him in Max gear, and like he'll have to take this with him. You know.
I will. You know, I'll do like in Japan where they put the caps with the Max's car. I'll wear that. I swear,
oh my God,
on
you guys,
camera.
I'm gonna save this reel. I'm gonna cut it into a reel, and I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna send it to every Red Bull team, Red Bull Mobile, Red Bull Drinks, Red Bull USA, all the Red Bulls in the world, just to get this to happen, please. But are there any strategies, any setups you feel like we should keep an eye out for from any of the teams?
I think it's gonna be, you know, they're gonna focus a lot on low drag because there's a lot of high speeds. And there's also a tire drag which we need to look out for. I think besides the car being fast, I think here is gonna be very crucial, the strategy, especially knowing that there would be safety cars. So you might, you know, like pit 1 lap before a safety car, your race is ruined versus others. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's going to be more interesting than Bahrain. Bahrain is a lot of overtakes without a lot of surprises. You know, it's straightforward. But Jeddah, there's always surprises.
I'm very excited. I feel like the humidity is going to play a role in this, obviously. You need like Qatar 2023.
The last year. Oof. It was very humid.
No, the year before. Last year was fine.
Oh, yeah.
Jeddah last year was pretty humid, but I feel this year it's going to be even worse because the timings shifted, obviously, and the date shifted. So Allah yastur for us and for them.
Yeah, I know.
Us watching the race. But predictions. I want 3 predictions from you. Pole position, surprise driver in the top 5, and whether it's safety car drama you already gave us, I feel. So give me 2. I want your pole position and your surprise driver in the top 5.
I know a lot of people are gonna contradict what I'm gonna say هلا, بس in my opinion هلا لاندو عم بيعمل مش therapy, and he wants to become Piastri, and he راح يجيبها للبول. What's gonna be هيك all season. مرة هيدا.
Oh, so it's gonna be 2023 Red Bull.
Yes. مش بس هيك بس إنه ما رح واحد ضله ياخدها كل الهاي. It's like a Nico Hamilton phase.
Yeah, Red Bull. We remember in the beginning when it was Checo Max.
إيه بس Checo was like second driver. هون لا. It's gonna be head on, clean racing. Because I know Piastri is mature enough. هو لاندو. بس رح يكون في بكي كتير ودراما. يعني لاندو. I'm sorry لاندو بس إنه كتير بتبكي صراحة. بدك تروق شوي. يعني معك صاروخ.
Seriously.
يعني بحسه عم يتعلم من هاملتون بس هاملتون معه سيارة ما بتمشي اوكي يبكي ومعه 7 championship بكي I mean 8 فيك تبكي بس انه لاندو come on.
So that's your pole position. It's going to be Lando Norris. Do you have a surprise driver in the top 5?
Based on race pace I think Albon. He's getting close.
In the
and
top
the
5?
Williams are fast.
Williams are fast. And Williams do pretty well in Jeddah.
That's why أنا عندي Albon. هلا ممكن ساينز يفاجئنا بس إنه it's Williams.
Okay.
بحس Albon because more experienced.
Yeah.
What about
well,
you?
more experienced in a Williams, but not more experienced. Period.
لا I know بحكي بويليامز أنا بعده أنت مين بتشوفي؟ بول توب 5 واحد.
It's so funny that I wrote the structure, but I did not put my answers down. Pole position. Oh my God. Max. Listen, this is just how I feel. خلاص, let it be. Me, you were Delulu for 3 years.
Yeah, but I
with
never
Lewis
said.
and Mercedes.
But I never said.
I am being Delulu with Max. Whatever it is.
Let me have my Red Bull.
Yeah, be nice to Red Bull. You should be saying Max Verstappen if you want them to take you to a race. Max Verstappen. Okay, so my pole position would be Max, and my surprise driver in the top 5.
أعطيني اسم هيك يعني مش ضروري تقولي because we know إنه في 5 fast cars بس أعطيني واحد هيك you think أقرب شيء.
Okay, I would say, oh my God, why is this so difficult? It's like picking your favorite kid.
Because عم يجوا 5 على راسك already, so you need to pick one.
No, he already got the top 5. He wouldn't be a surprise.
Who?
I was gonna say Antonelli, but he's not a surprise.
لا, Antonelli already جاب P4 هذيك مرة بالكوالي.
I'm gonna go Sainz.
Sainz?
Yeah.
Maybe. والله يمكن ما أنا قلت لك
كمان يمكن يفاجئنا. Because he did get P7 the other day, so it's not surprising. And this is just surprise in the top 5. It doesn't mean he's gonna finish the race in the top 5.
Okay, ممكن. بتصير.
Yeah, let's see. So you, Lando,
Alex,
me, Max, Sainz.
خلينا نشوف.
Let's see.
اوكي بس ترجع من جدة السبت دقيلة السبت قولي لي
قولي لي السبت I come back on Monday.
كوالي أول شيء خلينا نشوف كوالي مين بيجيبه.
So I'll call. You know what? I'm gonna call you from the track.
Yeah. بس تكون عم بتصوري فرجيني سيارة لاندو وراكي كرمال P1. ماكس يمكن P6.
Red Bull's never gonna take you anywhere.
ده أنا قصدي إنه يوكي رح يجيب شيء منيح إنه ريد بول هنا حيجيبه.
It's so funny that we casually forget there's a second driver.
ما حدا بيعتبره موجود.
I know, right? It's so bad, but we love Yuki.
Yeah.
Yuki-san, we love
cool.
you. Like super love you, big time. Actually, I am a big Yuki fan. I think he is phenomenal. He has made history for Japan. You know what I mean?
هسا عنده لحاله إنجاز يعني حتى لو ما بيجيب championship. Being there, racing, he's racing for a big name, مش for a small.
Yes. At the end of the day, and listen, Yuki is Honda. Honda is Yuki. That's
exactly.
To be Honda,
you have to be Yuki.
Like it's not a small thing. So. Shout out to Yuki. You're not there because of Honda. You might have gone there with Honda, but you're not there because of Honda. You've performed. It became a pep talk as if he's actually going to watch this.
بدك تخبريهم شو عنا الويكند?
Okay guys, so super excited to announce WatchGP watch parties are back. So this Sunday, we are going to be hosting our first event, which is the Jeddah Grand Prix, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, in Auto Capital, which is our new venue sponsor for the season. Shout out to Auto Capital. It is in Rai. It's actually the Aston Martin showroom previously, but now Auto Capital, beautiful location. We have some really cool surprises for you guys. On top of all of that, we've partnered up with Kuwait Zone, which is going to help us with event organization. They're going to help us with the whole 9 yards. We're really bringing life to the event this year. And tickets are not tickets anymore.
Yay.
They're free, so
Let's
you
go.
don't have to pay. You will just register your name. Obviously, registration is mandatory, so we can keep track of who's coming, who's not. Especially if we're going to be doing things like raffles, we're going to be doing really fun like activations. Also, don't forget we have our F1 Fantasy League. If you need to, let me know. I will repost it on our stories so you guys can join. But I think so far it's been pretty good.
I think أنا سابق
Oh, no way.
بالفانتسي.
Okay, wait, we have to discuss this later. Obviously Red Bull is going to be doing some really cool activations as well on Sunday. We're going to have, you know, the Red Bull flavors with their mixologist. They're going to do some really fun stuff. We are creating a mini F1 circuit. We found some really cool
F1 cars.
RCs, remote control cars,
And it has Max.
there's a Max, there's a Charles, there's
Lewis Hamilton,
a Lewis,
and
there's
Mercedes.
Lewis and Mercedes. Because we're not going to get you Lewis and Ferrari. He's not doing so well. And then who's the McLaren? Is the McLaren Lando?
I
don't think either of us checked the number on
No,
the
we didn't see
McLaren.
the number.
But we are going to create a mini circuit where you guys can compete against your friends, see who, you know, gets the best
And it's actually,
time.
you know, it's hard.
It's actually so much fun. Check our stories. Well, it's not going to show now, but if you checked our stories the other day, you would have seen it. So yeah, and we're going to have the F1 bingo and some other like fun activations. Ignore my voice. I'm starting to get my allergies are starting to act up again. But we're so excited. Register for the race. We are going to be doing all the events onwards. So get excited and register.
وانا بس حبيت كمان يعني اضيف على اللي قلتيه واكيد نتشكرهم once again لاوتو كابيتال لكويت زون لريد بول. Thank you for being part of
And
this.
whichever sponsors and partners come on next.
أهلا وسهلا.
Yalla, have a great time, guys. We are gonna peace out and see you after
I'm waiting for your call.
Jeddah. See you next time, guys. Thanks,
Bye
Joseph.
bye. Thank you, Noor.